Good day, awesome YouTubers. It is Lollyman16 here again for another Dragon Ball Super review. This was on episode 76. Kwateki or Uchiyabare. Kuririn no Toshi Futatabi, which translates into Beat the Fearsome Foes. The fighting spirit of Kuririn returns. And this episode finishes off the two-episode kind of mini arc, if you will, of Goku and Kuririn training with Muten Roshi. And so we start off with this episode. And of course, as always, guys, Herms, twitter.com/Herms98 for all the greatest translations from the man, Herms himself. Show him lots of support, guys. Again, does amazing work, works at Kanzenchu, so again, give him lots of love. He does great stuff. But anyway, continuing on from last week, we have Goku and Krillin facing off against their old enemies, and basically, not only Frieza's back, but Tambourine stuff. Guys from Dragon Ball. I mean, we have Nappa and Vegeta in the Saiyan arc. We have Cell, Majin Buu, all those guys pretty much, and we also have Piccolo Daimao appearing here. So pretty interesting stuff. Oh, and also the Ginyu Force too. Anyway, so Krillin freaks out, and Goku tells him basically to just relax, man. This is obviously an illusion because obviously everyone's dead, and so Goku says to Krillin, like, he's talking to Krillin like, Vegeta, because he spots Vegeta, and he's saying like, oh, Vegeta can't really be here. So a funny scene, he goes up to hit Vegeta, but Vegeta actually blocks it. Really strange. So yes, they are illusions, but they can actually they're kind of like a physical. I don't know what you really want to call it. They can fight physically, but they can be destroyed. Two ways. But I'll get into that later. So anyway, Goku urges Kuririn to start fighting again, but of course Krillin's way too scared, and in another scene, we have Uranai Baba, which is the fortune teller Baba. Remember from Dragon Ball, Master Roshi's sister, and she's charging Roshi 10 million zeni for her, services to be a referee in this whole training sparring thing. So I found that really funny. Also, back at the Kame house, Jinzo Ningen, Juhachigo-san, and Maron, or also known as 18 and Marin, arrive there. They're kind of worried about Krillin, and 18's wondering, like, is Krillin gonna make it? Cause she's kind of worried about him, and that makes sense. Baba tells 18 and Marin that they're actually in the fearsome forest, which is pretty much the border between the living world and the other world, or also known as the afterlife. I thought this was pretty interesting. I didn't actually think that Baba would send Goku and Krillin to an actual other plane of existence. I thought they would actually just send them to some places, some place on Shikyu or Earth. But no, it turns out that they're on a completely separate plane, and that's why, the old villains seem so real. So anyway, in this fearsome forest, Krillin's kind of remembering. He's kind of running from all the past villains, and along the way, there's some pretty interesting footage of, it's kind of like memories of when everyone killed Krillin. The first sequence we have is a reanimated sequence of Tambourine killing Krillin back in Dragon Ball. Before I think it's the 22nd Budokai, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't watched Dragon Ball in a long time, guys, so bear with me here. The next sequence is a Dragon Ball Kai footage, I believe. It's of Frieza killing Krillin, and then later on we see a sequence of Majin Buu, destroying the Earth, and of course another sequence where Dabura, or Dabura in the English dub, he's spitting on Krillin, and Krillin is turning to stone. Interesting stuff here. I didn't actually think they would put in Dabura. I don't even know why they did that in the first place. I really don't know why. Maybe, it's just to trigger Krillin, to make him more scared and whatnot. I kind of thought it was unnecessary, really, to have Dabura in there. I was also kind of thinking it was unnecessary to bring Boo in there, too. But whatever. It's whatever. one more comment I want to make on the tambourine killing Krillin. That whole scene is reanimated, so again, Toei is going through the extra lengths, even though it's a small scene, they're going through the extra lengths to make it reanimated and not use really old Dragon Ball footage, so I found that very interesting. Anyway, so Goku and Kuririn blow away the kind of the, I'm going to call it the Ghost Warriors, that's how Herms is calling it, but anyway, they're basically essentially the illusions of the old villains that they fought. They blow them away with one pretty strong Kamehameha blast. So anyway, Goku says to Kuririn after this they should continue searching for those paradise grass, and Kuririn is actually annoyed at Goku for being so carefree all the time, because Kuririn's telling Goku, he's mentioning to Goku like, why are you so carefree? These are all guys we fought in the past, and these guys should be feared a lot. And they obviously killed Krillin, but of course they didn't kill Goku, obviously. So I mean, Goku just has that mentality of, I want to face anyone, no matter how strong, how weak, whatever. I mean, that's just Goku's personality for you. So anyway, Kuririn mentions to Goku that he's scared, he's not like Goku, and that obviously makes sense. So basically it's a Krillin solo scene, and he's kind of reflecting on himself, and he realizes that he won't be able to leave the whole fearsome forest until he's completed the task, which is to get the paradise grass for Muten Roshi. And back at Kame House, we have 18 chewing out, quote unquote, Roshi and Urnai Baba for setting this whole thing up. But Roshi says, it's a really good training sequence, and he tells 18, you can go help him if you want, but 18 says, this is a good moment here, she kind of decides that no, Kuririn needs to learn for himself to become strong, he needs to learn for himself to become more confident. So again, I found that pretty good on 18's part. So back at Goku, who is now solo because Krillin went off somewhere. Actually, I should mention that Krillin, I think at one point, he was running away from his villains, and he slid down a waterfall. So yeah, that's how they kind of got split. Anyway, so back to Goku. Goku is finishing the Ghost Warriors off, and he says that, since they can keep popping up, I'll just finish them in one shot. And then he goes Super Saiyan 3, which I didn't think would happen. I actually didn't think we would see Super Saiyan 3 much again, but pretty cool, pretty good kind of pop up, if you will, for Super Saiyan 3, or should I say, I'm not quite sure what you call it, but yeah, it's kind of like he shows up for one scene basically. But anyway, so back to the whole Roshi. Roshi is realizing that Goku's realized it, and 18's telling Roshi like what, and Roshi tells 18, let's see if Kuririn realizes. So basically, I'm gonna break it down for you. This whole scene. Roshi says that Goku understands that they're just illusions, and all you have to do is just meditate. You can defeat them. But Krillin doesn't realize this yet. So anyway, the Ghost Warriors start to get way bigger, and so Goku powers down to base form, and he says, if I just concentrate hard enough, they disappear. So yeah, that's what happened. Remember, guys, this whole fearsome force thing, it's all just a whole training thing to get Krillin, basically let Krillin control his emotions and become more confident in himself. That's really what this whole training sequence is. So anyway, Goku wants to help out Kuririn, but he kind of thinks to himself, if he flies using his own ki, the Ghost Warriors were going to follow him. So he actually calls Kinto-un. And the Kinto-un, for you guys who don't know, is the Nimbus, flying Nimbus. I didn't think I would see it again. It's been so long since Goku has actually rode the flying Nimbus, so really cool sequence. It really reminded me a lot of the whole Kid Dragon Ball days when Goku would say, "Oi, Kinto-un," like he would call the Nimbus. That was good stuff. Anyway, so finally Krillin, he meditates too. He figures out how to beat them. He meditates, and the Ghost Warriors only get bigger for him. So interesting. It didn't work the same as with Goku. So again, it's like I said this whole time. It's just a way for Krillin to control his emotions, and so he does this. Krillin realizes he can destroy the Ghost Warriors by controlling his own emotions and becoming more confident in himself. So he does that. Along the way, Goku gets caught going to Krillin by Super Shenlong or Super Shenron, and he gets caught in his tail. But Krillin comes to the rescue and defeats the Super Shenron with one punch, with one shot, basically, using his ki. It's a pretty cool. Actually, it's a pretty cool power up. What Krillin does, it's his regular ki, but it's like kind of a different kind of flow of his ki, which is really interesting. So for a really odd scene, I don't know why Goku did this, but he went to Super Saiyan Blue, and they both fired a Kamehameha, which destroyed the dragon. I mean, Super Saiyan Blue was completely unnecessary, I think. I don't even know why they did that, to be honest with you, but yeah, I don't know. So anyway, Kuririn calms himself down, and they head back to Roshi's place. Goku's on the Kinto-un, and they have the paradise grass on their backs in a big sack. And so, but I think along the way, Krillin he mentions to Goku he wants to become strong like Goku. Another really cool moment. Krillin kind of acknowledges Goku for, always keeping a happy face even in the face of danger, like the kind of carefree, strong-minded attitude. He wants to be like Goku. So good character development for Kuririn. And 18 American welcomed them back. 18 says, how strong, or she sees, how strong Krillin has become now, and he's more confident. And it's like so at the end of the episode, Roshi reveals to both of them that the whole training sequence, the whole thing about that was to get Krillin to control his emotions. And so yeah, I mean, everyone saw it coming. I mean, if you didn't see it coming, I don't know what to tell you, but it's so obvious that Roshi can't really increase their ki. All he can do is, to get Krillin to control his emotions better, but it was done in a pretty clever way. So anyway, afterwards, back at Krillin's house, 18 shaves Krillin's head. He is ready for the upcoming tournament, and Goku asks to spar with Kuririn again. And and one more thing, Krillin's, he agrees on the condition that he can't use Super Saiyan. So another funny thing. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it of this episode. Next week, we're going to get, finally, the episode 77, the beginning of the universe survival arc with a new opening. Really hyped for that. It looks like Goku and Whis are going to spar a little bit, and then they're going to go off. And, Bulma is pregnant now with Bulla. So, interesting stuff there. We finally get to see Bulla in Dragon Ball Super. I mean, I was going to think that she wasn't going to show up, but yeah, it's coming, guys. So, again, leave your comments down below. Thank you all for watching. I thought it was a pretty good conclusion to the mini arc, and I can't wait for next week. Thank you all, guys, for tuning in. Stay awesome, everybody, and have a good one.